Hello YouTube and welcome to another episode of American Centennial. I'm your host Mike. Today we're taking a lovely stroll through Howland Township Park. Little township located in Warren, Ohio. That's in Northeast Ohio. It's a beautiful park. And this giant loop, I call it a loop. Let me show you. Look at this track. It goes all the way around this giant field. This giant field has it has a disc golf course. It has like a little flower garden, like a little area to sit and relax. It has a giant area for soccer. Kids like to play soccer there. We're just walking along. A lot of people walk on this. I'm actually probably going to take the road here in a little bit. We'll walk down the road. I'll show you some other stuff it has. You can go way in the back. They have baseball fields here. And they have a hidden boardwalk, which a lot of people don't know about. And that boardwalk has actually been vandalized quite a few times and spray painted. Now I go all the way around, and going all the way around equals about like a mile. I did the math, and it's like 2,000 some steps, you know. I think it's like 2,300 steps all the way around. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how steps are based, you know, if it's like, how does your phone know how many steps you take anyways? It's like taller and shorter people. Is it just the distance you walk and it averages it? I'm not too sure on that. But as you walk on it, you can see there's a backyard of a lot of homes. Must be nice living there right by the park. And you could just step out. See what I mean when I say disc golf? It's this game people play with frisbees. Way over there is the restrooms. Way over there. Really cool area for kids to play. And it's awesome. But it is very vast. I mean, this camera just has amazing zoom. So I'm just showing you guys the park. Now, I don't know what these big tanks are. I think they're like natural oil wells or something for people. I'm pretty sure. Natural gas, whatever you call it. You know, some people, they get free gas because they got that in their backyards. I always thought that must help on your, you know, on your gas bill in the months of wintertime. That would probably be nice. Save a lot of cash doing that. I myself wouldn't mind doing it. Afternoon. There's a lot of dog walking going on. Can't blame them. It's beautiful out. If I had a dog, I'd be definitely doing it myself. But I don't. I am looking myself for like a golden doodle or a labradoodle. Those are both breeds I'm looking into, but I don't know where you'd find them. Like, do I have to go to a breeder for that or wherever? And I'm being respectful of people I see at the park to try to keep it off of them. They didn't ask to be on film, so I'm not going to do that. I respect their privacy and not put people in there and get their conversations. It is a public place, though. You just can't help it sometimes. You can see it's just a nice day. It rained yesterday. The storm was really bad. I was driving to Youngstown. I thought I ran through a tornado. It's like I was heading up Springs, and then when I hit Meridian, it's just like all this stuff started flying at me at once. Like Terry was my witness, my wife. We were in my car. We were going to pick up my daughter and her friend to go see fireworks because, you know, 4th of July was on Tuesday this year. So some fireworks shows were displayed until the 8th. I mean, postponed. I don't know why I said displayed, but, well, they were going to be displayed, but you know what I'm trying to say. They were delayed till the 8th. So we go to pick up my daughter and her friend, and on our way up Meridian, I guess it's called a wall cloud or a wall storm, something to do with a wall, you know? And I look in the distance up Meridian, and I'm like, babe, I'm still on Springs at this point, but it turns into Meridian. I'm like, babe, I can't see up there, look. Like, you can't see the trees. It was just like a giant gray fog type thing. So that must have been the wall they were talking about. I'm like, you know, I said a couple of swear words. I'm like, is that like a tornado or something? Like, I'm kind of scared here. I mean, I didn't tell her I was scared, but I was. So as I'm driving into it, it's just like we got hit by all these papers and twigs and junk. It's like, what the heck? That's not something you see normal, you know, or happens to you normally. And that was pretty freaky. When I see all the traffic lights that are, I never knew this, but traffic lights are huge. Like when you look up there, I guess they're like 4 feet tall. So those things are heavy because they're just pure metal, you know. And they were swinging around like they're made of, you know, tinfoil or something. And I was like, oh my gosh. And seeing that, they were just flopping around in the wind like nothing. And I said, well, we got to make it through. So we did drive through that stuff. And it was pretty intense. But the storm did not last long at all. Afternoon. And so we're gonna deviate from the circle and go check out this area. I want you to see there's a volleyball court. You could see that. There's a baseball field back there too. I don't know what ages play back there. I'm pretty positive this is a maintenance building. I got the Howland Tiger on it. That's our mascot here in Howland. Go Tigers, baby. Which I'm a huge fan of tigers. I always have been. I don't know why. It's a beautiful, beautiful giant cat. Now there's some kind of ball pit over here. I don't know what it's called. My daughter's obsessed with this game. Ugh. It has a weird name to it. If anybody can remember, please let me know. I should know this, but I'm having a brain fart right now. I don't know the name of it. This is the Lewis Field. Beautiful field, really nice. Nice big bleachers and everything. Lewis Field, I imagine that was donated by Lewis Construction. They're huge in this area. Very big company. Seems they do a lot for charity around here, which is really nice. I'm assuming that's what Lewis Field is. If not, I apologize to whoever donated that. Here's a beautiful lake back there. And I'm not gonna walk through here because it rained so bad yesterday. The ground here at Howland Park has a lot of little hills and like a little valleys or whatever you call it. And it does get soggy. And I have newer, I just got these not long ago. And they weren't cheap, you know. They're really nice walking running shoes. And I don't want to get them covered in water. You can see it's soaked. It's all the standing water. So the ground is pretty much logged, which we needed a good rain because it's July and it's very dry. It's been very hot. However, last week we've had some really, what's the word I'm looking for? Peculiar weather because it was hot and dry. But we had these smoke coming in from Canada. So the air quality was really, really poor. The air quality was disgusting. As a matter of fact, I still took my walks in the park But the very next morning, oh, it was a Wednesday, and that was the worst. And then on Thursday morning, my chest was burning a little bit, and I was coughing a lot. But it got better. It got better. It only lasted for like 15 minutes in the morning. But you could actually taste the air, and it was like a campfire, very strong. It had almost a chemical plastic smell and taste too. Wasn't very fun, if you know what I mean. Maybe I'll take a walk back there to the secret boardwalk. Not a lot of people know about it. I just found out a couple years ago. My wife said, "Hey, let's go take a walk at the boardwalk." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I never knew about it. But it's probably all wet and gross back there too. And there are a lot of like mosquitoes. So I'm kind of not interested in that. Mosquitoes seem to like me for some reason. They must like garlic, you know. I do eat a lot of garlic. Being 50% Italian, my mom's full-blooded. And I eat pasta literally every day. It's part of my diet. Mostly protein pasta, this Barilla protein pasta, which is amazing. If you look at the pack, it's really good nutrition. It's not bad. Not bad at all. And I have that with my favorite Mids bolognese sauce, which is a meat sauce. Man, what a good flavor, what a good taste. Now, I was talking about the weather and I got derailed. But it's been cloudy, kind of dreary the last few days, but it's okay. We kind of need the rain. We've had like a solid month of just beautiful. You can't complain, you know? But look at how green the grass is again. It's like Ireland, you know? Whee! Because the grass was very, very dry. It was starting to get like yellow and brown a lot. I know my house was. And I only cut it this whole summer. Oh my gosh, I think 4 times, believe it or not. And usually, you know, I'm cutting my lawn every 3 days, 4 days at most. And this summer, I went like 2 weeks without cutting it because it just wasn't growing without the rain. You know? Here's another field. This is a much bigger field and an older field. For the big boys, you know, or who knows? Who knows? They even have cages over there. Look at this. They even have cages. Yep. Here's see the soccer fields? Jeez, there's so much. It's a big field. Here's a random porta potty and trash can. It's nice to have trash cans put in spots because, you know, people walk around with bottled water. I got one in my pocket right now. And you don't want to just throw them on the ground, especially in a park. And having a porta pot like that is good, even though they do have bathrooms over there. So, you know, yeah, this gives relief to people out here playing softball or maybe walking out here on this end of the park. Excuse me. Maybe we'll try to take a walk over there at the boardwalk. And if it's too wet, we'll just turn around because I don't want to ruin these shoes. Not to mention, seems like mosquitoes just come out more when it's all soggy and stale. I don't want to get bit up. Not a fan of that. Back to the weather. So those fires from Canada, that lasted. Now we're headed back to the secret boardwalk. It's not really advertised, but if you know, you know, if you know what I mean. It's beautiful. It really is. You walk right past this field with the cages. The smell from those fires, the air quality was so bad. There's like an index on your weather app or whatever. There were actually air quality apps you could download. And my daughter on her phone, she was checking it out, and her and I were in Boardman shopping the one day. And that was on Wednesday. Excuse me, that's like the worst day there was. You know, and the air quality was almost at 300. And they have like levels to where it says moderate, low, moderate, bad, unhealthy. And then it went into dangerous. And when it hit like near 300 or something, I believe it said very dangerous or highly there was something that like scared the crap out of me, because my daughter's like, Dad, maybe we should go home, now. And she showed me, and I'm like, okay. Because it was just so hazy out, and if you look into the distance, you couldn't see. It was a complete fog. I'm gonna probably add a picture in so you could see what it looked like. And it didn't take long, but those what do you call that, air got better within days. Especially like last weekend, the air quality got really good again, and that was nice. Seems there's other people enjoying the boardwalk, which is nice. Now I checked, my air quality on my app. It said like, good. I'm like, that's awesome. Now I do know that this boardwalk was painted, obviously by kids or people with no regard or respect for nature or class or anything like that if they were adults, but I'm assuming they were probably teenagers. They go through phases where they think the stuff they do is funny, and it's really not. And I know I did things when I was at that age and totally not proud of now, and probably in my 20s, probably in my 30s, maybe even yesterday, but every day you just gotta try to be better, that's all. Never give up. That's part of just growing and being a better person, Can't expect to be better if you're doing the same things that cause you grief or others grief or whatever. That's the truth. Now here is the boardwalk. They put the camera on a little bit more. Now they keep going that way, but I don't really know what that's for. But this is where it begins for the boardwalk. You can see that the city, township I should say, has invested to clean it up again. Looks like fresh wood. A lot seemed to be maybe falling apart before, but I'm not sure if this is fresh or repainted or whatever, because all this was just painted with graffiti and really bad things. That's not very family friendly. And thank goodness it seems like nice and clean and able for the family to enjoy this nice walk here. Check it out. It's really nice. It's peaceful. It's beautiful too. Yep, if you're into parks and you happen to be in Trumbull County, come and check out the Howland Township Park. Take a walk on the boardwalk, because it's really nice. Wow, these are some tall. Now the boardwalk is off the ground. I would say, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not good at gauging height. I want to guess, say 10 feet maybe? I don't know. So these giant husk things are tall. Is that just grass? When grass gets really high, is that how it looks? I don't know. See, this is like very marshy. I don't know if this is considered swampland or not, you know. You could hear some standing water underneath me. But I can't really. If you look, see down there? Horrible thing would be to drop my phone or even have my earbuds slide out of my head. I did have that issue. Oh my goodness. So the other day I'm talking to my friends on my headset while I was doing my dishes at home. Sometimes we'll get in group calls and we all talk to each other. You know, hey, let's call this guy, let's call that guy. How's everybody doing? We round them up and we talk for a bit. It's good to keep in touch with your friends. And I have some really good ones. So, one of my friends I stay very, very close with, in touch with from college. Probably one of my oldest friends, my dearest friends. He lives in Atlanta. I still talk to him almost every single day. I really do. And look at that water. It looks like something out of a movie with that standing water. It's all green, you know, the moss or whatever you call it, algae. You could hear. You hear that? Hear the frogs? I will admit, I'm scared of heights. This partially creeps me out, but I'm so scared of heights that when I was at the Grand Canyon, it did not faze me. The only thing that did worry me was the, oh wow, look at that beautiful butterfly right there. I better, oh, it flew away. It was a monarch, man. It was so beautiful. I wouldn't have bothered it. I heard, oh, look at that bird. Wish you could have seen it. It's black. It had red and yellow on its wings. Is that a canary? Is that what they call them? I don't know. But you could hear so many frogs out here. The frogs are in effect. And I haven't seen one bit of graffiti, which is awesome, on this whole one. And this is the end of the boardwalk way out here. Steps leading down into the swamplands. I don't know who would want to go down there or why. Maybe if you're into catching frogs or something. Have you ever seen the movie Predator? That's a jungle. This is a forest. But it reminds me of that just because it's so, you know, overgrown and looks wild. There are apps you can get on your phone that you can scan plants. My wife has it, and it's really cool. All you do is like scan the leaf. I don't think you scan the bark of like the tree or nothing, or the actual twigs. We're headed back now, by the way. That was the end. Little lookout point with a walk down area. So we're headed back. And back to the thing about my headsets, because it just got me nervous. I want to film so much, but I don't want to hold my phone over because if I were to drop my phone, it's all over. I'm not getting that back. I'm not retrieving that phone back. And if my headsets would happen to pop out, they're gone. Okay, my watch keeps going off here for some weird reason, which is getting kind of annoying. Okay, I silenced it. Seems my watch and headset and my phone, they're all synced together, you know. And I have in my earbuds right now while I record. So I hope you could hear all the nature behind me because it's really beautiful. Especially with these frogs. They're just so loud. But like I was saying, I was talking to my friends the other day, and they were in a pretty good discussion. Can't remember what the topic was, to be honest. And I didn't want to interrupt because I leaned over the sink. I was doing dishes, and my right earbud just plopped out of my ear, and it fell right down the garbage disposal while I was doing dishes. Now, I wasn't running water at the time, thank goodness, and I did not have the garbage disposal on, thank goodness. But it fell right into that hole. Now, I know better. Like, I was tempted to just reach down and try grabbing it, you know? That's the worst thing you could do. No, 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 no. I know these are like hundreds of dollars, but you don't want to risk losing fingers for hundreds of dollars, you know? You can buy more headset, but you're not going to buy, you know, the same fingers you have, put it that way. No, no, no. Nope. No matter all the money in the world here, the ones that were given to you naturally are not going to be restored. So, anyways, they fell down there, and I managed to get these like salad tongs. Very small salad tongs, by the way. They're more for like, you know, maybe putting in a bowl for candy at a party or something. They're not really salad tongs, but they're very small tongs. Probably got them at Five Below or somewhere like that for $1. Whew. And I fished around in that garbage disposal for a minute or two. I kept my cool. I never even said a bad word or anything when it fell out. I was just kind of like, oh, geez. Oh, no. You know, but I'm starting to realize, too, the older I get, because normally old Mike would have just flipped out, maybe thrown a dish across the room, you know. High intensity, high anxiety Mike. But I'm learning that doesn't really get you anywhere. You know, you got to be calm, cool, and collected to get things done the right way. You really do. The triple C. Calm, cool, collected. If you want to really manage your tasks, something's always going to come up. You're always going to have something. No matter how good your day is, seems like there's always going to be a wrench thrown your way into the machine, you know. Something's always going to try to happen. And the more you learn to be cool about it, and I'm just learning this now. It took me 43 years, but the more you learn to be cool about it, the easier things go, and you just keep having a better day. You know, it's like building a force field around you or some armor. And you do that, your armor gets stronger every time an obstacle comes your way. Keep cool. You'll get through it. It'll pass. And it'll just, your armor gets stronger. I can't explain it. Force field, whatever you want to call it. You will grow, you will be better from every problem that comes your way. But just be cool, level-headed. It's hard. Easier said than done, right? I know. But you gotta try. You gotta try. So I did. I go, okay, I'm not gonna put my fingers down there. You know, because residual power, anything could happen. It's just like a lawnmower. You know, you never flip that over unless the spark plug is out of it, okay? Don't do that to reach it, you know, and clean it out, or grab grass to knock it out. Don't do that, because you could throw that blade. That residual power could just throw it on. You never know. It could just start up. Don't do that. There's people that lost hands because of that. You know, maybe something even worse. So I figured the same could be true with the garbage disposal. Why not? You never know with residual power. It's a big thing about electricity. I don't like playing with it. So I fished around in that stupid garbage disposal. Man, it was hard. And then I felt I clapped something, but it was like a nut, you know, or something down in there, a screw, you know, holding the pieces together. And I'm like, oh, geez. Sure enough, I got a hold. I found it. I got the ear. Oh, look at this random flower. It's a pretty one. So that was the boardwalk. So with the tongs, I did grab a hold of the earbud, and I pulled it right out of the garbage disposal. And wouldn't you know, I looked at it, because with earbuds, I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Apple AirBuds. You pull the little white tips off and then you see like a little black screen type part. Well, that had moisture all over it. You could see the condensation, you know, the water on it. Now this thing wasn't covered in water or anything. It just looked like it had some raindrops or something on it, you know. So there was definitely water in the garbage disposal. But I got one of those bottles of duster. I don't know what it's called, air blaster, whatever the things you clean off electronics with, or keyboards, you know, and stuff, whatnot. And I just blasted those earbuds with it. I don't even know if you're supposed to do that or not. You know, if it's bad or not, I don't know, but took a damp, not a damp, I'm sorry, took a dry paper towel after I did that and just kind of, you know, squeezed them in that to dry them off. Sure enough, put it in my ear. They worked perfectly fine. I asked the guys, hey, can you hear me? They're all like, yeah, why? And I told them the story. I said, you won't believe what just happened to me. And they're like, oh man. Whew. You know. So I got very lucky with that situation. We got lucky. Didn't have to buy a new pair. And those worked perfectly fine. So I don't think the lifespan on those AirPods or AirBuds, whatever they're called, lasts very long either. I love them. I'm probably always going to have them because they work so well with all my stuff, everything Apple I have Apple Watch, Apple phone, you know, and these AirPods. And to be honest, if Apple come out with a car, I'm probably going to buy that too. I just love Apple stuff. It's so easy to use. But, you know, I don't think they have a long life, because I use mine a lot, quite a bit. Like, they're in my ears, like, oof, I'd say minimum of like 4 or 5 hours a day. You know, out of 24 hours a day, probably 4 or 5 hours minimum, maybe even a couple hours more. But I like them for when I exercise or all my phone calls or anything like that. Sometimes just listening to music and podcasts, they're great. They're the best quality you can have. But I don't think I've had a pair. Well, maybe I did. But I don't really think like more than a year they last. I think that's kind of the lifespan, is a year. And I've actually had a pair for 6 months to 9 months, and they've kind of just, you know, faded out. Now, these new ones, the most new updated ones they have are amazing. If you lose them, they will tell you like exactly where they are. You go to the Find My app in Apple, and you can like walk to it, and it tells you how many feet you're away from it in direction. It'll say like 10 feet to the right. You know, it's pretty amazing, like super amazing. Now the older ones, they did not work. There's a weird spider on my phone. They did not work like that, because the last place, I thought I lost a pair. So I had to buy a whole second pair of AirPods because I thought I lost a pair one time. I thought I lost them at the gas station because that's where they said it was last spotted. I drove back to the gas station, asked the attendant, are they here? You know, and he's like, no, I'm looking everywhere. Well, here, I must have had them in my ears when I went to gas up and I took them out. Well, they fell between the seats. And I don't know why they registered there, but they did. You know, because the battery life in these are good. But they never updated that, like they were in my car at my house. So I don't know why. Because the battery must have died out. And they died out in my car between the seats. Because I can't go without these. I need them for communicating and all the stuff I do. I literally use them so much. So I went and bought a whole nother pair of Best Buy. And then when I cleaned my car, which was months later, because this probably happened in the winter, and come wintertime, I'm not that great at cleaning out my car, but when springtime comes, you know, gonna give my car a real deep clean, I found them. And then I'm like, well, great, what am I gonna do with 2 pairs? But the most recent pair I had, they're the most updated version. And the last pair is not that updated. Regardless, they're both good quality. They're both good at everything. But I gave those to my brother as a gift. I figured he'd like to have them to listen to podcasts or do whatever, you know. Because what am I going to do with 2 pairs? And actually, I gave another pair because that pair I gave my brother was actually kind of a newer pair. I had a pair that was fading out in the ears. It's like I said, the lifespan on them are not that great. So they were kind of crapping out on me. So I gave them to my daughter. And that's when I bought the pair for my brother. In total, I think I've had 3 or 4 pairs within 2 years. 3 years maybe. And we have come all the way back around. We're all the way back to basically where we started from. We took a nice walk. And that was the whole circular area of the Howland Park. You got to see the back area with the little lake. Then you got to see the boardwalk. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get out there and have a walk wherever you live, whether it's your community park or even if it's around the block or up and down the road or around your house. Because nothing like fresh vitamin D, that's for sure. It just feels good getting out, moving around. Thanks for joining me on today's walkthrough. I've almost reached the full around. We got to see the back of by the lake, and we got to see the secret boardwalk. I call it the secret boardwalk. It's probably not even a secret, but whatever. So, but it sure is beautiful. And the sun is starting to come out through all the clouds. So, that makes it nicer. I went swimming yesterday. So my back is like, oh, you know, I was swimming for a few hours, so my back is kind of burnt. I got on a dark shirt, but I mean, I'm walking a lot of shade, but it still kind of burns. Maybe I'll put some aloe on it or something like that. Anyways, thanks for watching. Share, like, subscribe if you haven't already. I'd appreciate that. And have a good one. Thanks.